the Yahoo isn't where to go. The Yahoo link on Drudge, for some reason, leaves out the very interesting fact that it was autopsy records and it's photos. Judge permanently blocks release of Bob Saget autopsy records. And then also some photos of like the autopsy. Saget suffered a fractured skull at the base of his skull, fractures around his eye sockets, a cut to his scalp, bleeding between the brain. Hold on, dude. A Florida judge on Monday agreed to an order that permanently blocks the release of photos, video, and other records contained to the investigation of Bob Saget's death. The permanent injunction granted by Circuit Judge Vincent Chu had been requested by the comedian's family. The family's asking for it and the judge blocks it? Wait, what's that all about? Blocks the release of photos, video, and other records connected to the investigation of Bob Saget's death. The permanent injunction granted by Circuit Judge Vincent Chu had been requested by the comedian's family. The 65... Dude, get out of here. What is all this shit? Sorry, 1 second. Okay, stop doing that, please. Oh, wow. Let's exit out. Okay, sorry. It's gonna go. Okay, here. The permanent injunction granted by Circuit Judge Vincent Chu had been requested by comedian's family. The 65-year-old actor died January 9 after suffering blunt head trauma, likely from a fall backwards, at the Ritz-Carlton Orlando Grande Lakes in Florida. An autopsy is revealed. So why are you going to... Saget suffered a fractured skull at the base of his skull, fractures around his eye sockets, a cut to his scalp, bleeding between the brain and tissue covering the brain, according to an autopsy report. His death was ruled accidental, and authorities have said there is no signs of foul play or drugs at the scene. There are no signs of illicit drugs or toxins in Saget's body, according to a toxicology report. Saget's widow, Kelly Rizzo, and his 3 daughters had filed a lawsuit seeking to bar the release of records pertaining to the death investigation from the Orange County Sheriff's Office and the local medical examiner's office. The suit was filed after some media outlets requested such records, even though Florida state prohibits their release. Wait, Florida? And then it says Orange County. Orange County, Florida? Hold on, dude. Is that it? Hold on. Saget's widow, Kelly Rizzo, has filed a lawsuit through the... The suit was filed after some media outlets requested such records. What is up with that? Hold on, let me go back to this. Judge permanently blocks the release of Saget's autopsy records. Permanently blocks the release of Bob Saget death records. Why don't you tell us, like, kind of more of the reason why, what the hell is going on here? Here, let's go to the Orlando Sentinel. Let's go to the Orlando Sentinel. Oh, continue. See what's included. Only subscribers get full access to our website. Wait a minute. Continue to check out? Wait. No. I don't want to create any account or whatever. This is fucking bullshit. Oh, back out of this thing. So I can't read this article? Only our subscribers have full access to our website? Oh, well. That sucks. Florida judge temporarily blocks the release of records in Bob Saget's death 4 weeks ago. Oh, and it was permanently. Here, let's go to this 4 weeks ago. Here. Judge blocks the release. Hold on, dude. Don't do any of that. Orlando, Florida. A judge in Florida on Wednesday agreed with a request from the family of comedian Bob Saget, and that temporarily prohibited the release of any photos, video, and other records related to the investigation into his death, saying that doing so would cause them irreparable harm. Saget's wife, Kelly Rizzo, and his 3 daughters filed a lawsuit the previous day in Orlando, Florida, asking the state judge for a ruling that would prohibit the release of any records from the local medical examiner's office and the Orange County Sheriff's Office involving the probe into Saget's death. Circuit Judge Vincent Chu issued a temporary injunction saying that Saget's family would suffer severe mental pain, anguish, and emotional distress if the request wasn't granted. He said the injunction was in the public's interest as he decides whether the family's privacy concerns outweigh any claims for the records to be released. Saget, 65, was found dead January 9th in a room in the Ritz-Carlton, Orlando. He had performed in the area the night before as a part of a stand-up tour. The medical examiner said last week that Saget had died from accidental blow to the head, likely from a backwards fall. An autopsy report showed that Saget had an abrasion on his scalp, a fracture at the base of his skull, fractures around his eye sockets, bleeding between the brain and tissue covering the brain, as well as bruises to the brain. A toxicology analyst didn't show any illicit drugs or toxins in Saget's body. During the course of the autopsy and death investigation, the medical examiner's office and sheriff's office created graphic photos and videos of Saget's body, as well as audio recordings. Such records are prohibited by state law from being released publicly, but some media outlets have already filed a request for them, according to the family's lawsuit. Plaintiffs will suffer irreparable harm in the form of extreme mental pain, anguish, and emotional distress if defendants release the records in response to public records request or otherwise disseminate the records for any other reason or purpose, their complaint said. Under Florida law passed following the death of NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt 2 decades ago, records related to autopsies are required to be kept confidential, with only surviving members or a government agency as part of its official duties allowed to view them. However, upon a showing of good cause, a court can allow the records to be viewed or copied under the supervision of records custodian. In allowing the records to be viewed, a judge must consider whether it's necessary to evaluate governmental performance and the seriousness of the intrusion into the family's privacy, among other criteria, according to the law. No legitimate public interest would be served by the release or dissemination of the records to the public, said the lawsuit by Saget's family. Saget was best known for his role as beloved single dad Danny Tanner on the sitcom Full House and as the wisecracking host of America's Funniest Home Videos. He was buried in Los Angeles. What's going on there? What's really going on over there? The Saget side of things. Good morning. You guys are all chipper, aren't you? You guys are all sunshines and fucking birds, aren't you? You fucking feds. Aren't you, you fucking feds? Hmm. 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 Did you see that? Like, Israel sent clowns over to fucking Ukraine. They're like, we're here for the kids. Oh, you're here for the kids? Like, they're like, "Ah," like making like balloons and shit for them, and they're like, "Ah." Like, well, I'm not sure this is the greatest of times. I'm not sure, I don't know. I was always jinxed by clowns. Like, kind of not scared of them, but like, kind of creeped out. To say in a war zone I wouldn't be creeped out would just be an understatement. I'd be horrified to see a fucking clown from Israel show up and fucking, I'm in Ukraine. This fucking clown comes and fucking my house is getting bombed and fucking my whole entire town is burning down. Fucking Russians are fucking everywhere, like sniping us. And basically 3 million plus people boned the fuck out. But these clowns got over there. Clowns on the border, literally. Israeli clowns. I mean, let's see what it is. I heard it on the radio, so I mean, people are stealing gas. People are popping holes in gas tanks and shit. It's getting dire. People are popping holes in gas tanks, and I'm pretty sure you could siphon the gas out, and you wouldn't leave the person like fucking really fucked. Like it's like almost $1,000 to replace gas tanks, and it's like soaring over Los Angeles all of a sudden, like soaring people, like mechanics everywhere are saying like people are coming in with like their gas tanks punched in because people want to get gas and everything. I've seen these Mexicans that roll around that have like this huge gas tank, and this is before like gas went up. Huge gas tank in the back of their, shit, and it's like all that gas, and like they fill it all the way up. They go and they like jack. Somehow they like crack open the gas tank. They like really know what's going on. They crack it and then the whole thing is like busted somehow. Somehow they bust open the gas and then they just fill it up and take off. Then the gas thing is broken. They got like a full tank of like bomb gasoline in the back of their fucking thing. Just, it's probably gonna go sideways if they get into an accident. But I mean, you never know. Big ass gasoline, like tank. So there's gas, there's some clowns on the border. Can we get a realist view on what these Israeli clowns are doing? The Israeli clowns. Let me just get the 1-2 on this. The Israeli clowns on Ukraine border. I don't know where the thing to talk into this thing is. Israeli medical clowns helping refugee children on Ukraine border 2 hours ago. Yeah, that's it right there. Times of Israel. Don't worry, the clowns are here, guys. From Israel. We're here to make you like a balloon or whatever. Like, my dad's head was blown off last night. Like, oh. Israeli medical clowns. Medical clowns helping refugee children on Ukraine border. Sounds a little sideways to me. Among the efforts by Israeli government and people to assist Ukrainian refugees is a delegation of medical clowns, guys. While the clowns are used to working in hospital settings, they are now trying to bring more cheer to refugee children who have crossed the border into Moldova. The sadness here is tremendous. Are you giving me on the Israeli clown operation? The sadness here is tremendous. Oh, that's all you're giving me? Or I gotta like join your club or whatever the hell is going on? All right. Let's get out of the Times of Israel. Clowns spotted at Ukraine's border making refugee children smile in the universal language of laughter. Guy. Here, Yahoo News will give it to us for free. Why don't you, Yahoo? Oh, see this guy? Look at this guy. Oh, jeez. So let me see here. Dressed in colorful clothes and goofy hats, clowns are greeting kids with hugs, smiles, balloons, and candy as they cross Ukraine's border into Moldova to escape the violence of Russia's ongoing invasion. Members of the Dream Doctors Project, professional Israeli medical clown, a group of members of the Dream Doctors Project, a group of professional Israeli medical clowns. That's a mouthful. Israeli medical clowns. On a week-long mission to make people laugh as they complete what can only be a frightening and heartbreaking journey out of war-torn Ukraine. Nearly 3 million refugees have fled the country since the invasion, February 24. United Nations says. Half are children. Andrew Kimmel, a journalist with the frigid Ukrainian Moldova crossing, documented a few moments of levity provided by the clowns. Their work is invaluable. All right, the United Nations is involved. What are they really doing, you clowns? What are you clowns really up to here? The group says its members are both multi-talented artists and highly skilled members of the medical teams that operate in Israeli hospitals and humanitarian relief missions to disaster zones around the world. We don't even speak the same language, but the humor and clowning is a universal language, one of the clowns said in a video posted by Kimmel. If we can help people to share us with what they go through, we can help them and sit with them. It's not enough, but that's what we can do. Juggling under the snowfall of weary travelers, temporary refugee camp, and then you see a clown like in the middle of like some war-torn operation in Ukraine, Moldova area. You see this guy out in the woods. You know what I mean? You see that guy out in the woods. Giving him that face. Giving him that 1-2-1-2. All people come back are maybe a blown building or empty streets. We bring the faces of the actual people who are impacted by the decision of war. What's the doctor project about? I mean, Dream Doctors Project? Bringing hope to Ukrainian refugees. Learn about our international emergency mission relief. Dream Doctors embark on a week-long emergency mission to Chechnya, Moldova, to provide vital humanitarian relief to Ukrainian refugees. Dream Doctors Project, founded in 2002, the Dream Doctors Project is a unique Israeli nonprofit that integrates professional medical clowns, dream doctors, into Israeli hospitals by training them to work as members of a multidisciplinary care team dedicated to improving patient well-being and enhancing the efficiency and efficacy of the healthcare delivery. Dream Doctors' therapeutic approach aims to promote medical clowning as officially recognized paramedical profession. Dream Doctors' expertise and trailblazing model of operation has earned the organization international recognition as a leader in the field. We're talking about some sort of dream doctors here? So we got clowns over there on the border. I don't know what I was hoping to like get out of that, but I'm not sure if you know what I mean. Dream doctors, whatnot. The dream doctors. You know what I mean? So they're punching holes in gas tanks. Oh, the conflict disrupts key supply chains. I would have almost believed it if it like didn't happen prior to. You know what I mean? The it's very noticeable what's going on with the supply chains and whatnot. Very noticeable indeed. going to get my 0% Saget yogurt. It was very noticeable. Fentanyl is in everything. Fentanyl in everything, guys. Everyone's getting dosed with fucking fentanyl. Okay? Florida. Oh, God. Spring breakers dosed with fentanyl. Up in Fort Lauderdale area, 10 people's homes were 10 people at homes were hospitalized because of the potential lethal drug fentanyl. In a matter of 3 days, fentanyl is deadly. Even a few granules the size of salt shaker can kill you. 4 men were hospitalized after medical emergency involving fentanyl. Broward said found in respiratory arrest, 1600 block Southwest 40th Terrace in unincorporated Fort Lauderdale. Battalion Chief Michael Kane said detectives found drug residue at the residence, according to the Broward County Sheriff's. Testing determined substance to be fentanyl. 3 of the men have been released from the hospital. The men's 39, 30, 28, 26. 4 U.S. military academy cadets from West Point were among 6 people who overdosed on fentanyl-laced cocaine at a rental home. Oh, you got fucking military cadets like doing a little cocaine. Fentanyl is dangerous. A synthetic opioid. It's 100 times stronger than morphine. In its illegal form, it's often added to other street drugs, including cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, due to its potential effects. It's also often made into pills that closely resemble prescription opioids. They released Narcan, which is like the only thing that's going to save you at that point. We have seen an increase of all this freaking operations. The drugs caused almost like 6,000 deaths in Florida. Overwhelming majority of fentanyl deaths, 94.7, were accidental. So basically, everyone's dying. And like the medical exam or the EMT will go, and then they'll like they have it on their shirt or something or whatever, and then like they're in the like in paramedics like driving it, and they're like, oh, something's up, like, oh fuck, I think I got a little fentanyl on me, like, oh great. I've seen that happen where an emergency fucking person that was coming there to save somebody on drugs, then they got dosed because they touched them, and that person died, and that fucking EMT, um, they didn't die, but they got like, it was a close call or whatever. Because I don't know how soon. I mean, we probably should hit him with Narcan right away, but you're probably gonna need more than like 1 vial. Early Friday evening, he turned to Facebook to send out a warning to any drug users or acquaintance drug users who fall in the fentanyl cluster right now, and the drug users need to use fentanyl test strips before using drugs. Fentanyl test strips. He's put out such buyer beware bulletins in the past. After 28 years of saving lives, first responder in South Beach, Garcia roams Palm Beach, Broward, passing out Narcan, giving him classes on how to administer it. We have a fentanyl epidemic right now. So they're giving away all this Narcan and shit. I gave out almost 300 units of Narcan. They got those mobile clinics over there. Fentanyl is detected in street drugs. Marijuana? Marijuana? Pills, marijuana, crystal meth, and cocaine. You guys got it in the weed? 4 people were using cocaine. And cardiac arrest. They went John Belushi on him, giving mouth to mouth. At least one on a ventilator. Oh. Late Friday, police arrested the Axel Giovanni Casillas, 21, of Lauderdale on drug trafficking charge after selling cocaine to an undercover drug task force. Brower Casillas purchased 43 grams of cocaine, $1,000 worth. Followed him to Hollywood, where he was arrested. Phone records connected Casillas to undercover purchase, as well as an overdose victim. Cocaine with fentanyl. I can't imagine that there's only one drug seller in Broward. Obviously, law enforcement got the one guy off the street, but he's obviously there's more people. So the fentanyl fucking surge over there in Florida. I think it's like nationwide, whatever. China's like saucing us up. China's probably saucing us up. They're like, oh, you guys look at the heroin. You guys look at the heroin, huh? Ooh, time to get out of the heroin business. Huh? I mean the pain relief, pain pills. So it's in everything though. You should probably get out of everything at this point. They're like, oh, it's in weed, it's in this and this and that. So they just sprinkle a little on there. They're just sprinkling fentanyl and everything. People are just ODing everywhere. Wow. It's treacherous. Wow, it's treacherous. Spring breakers die. Is this spring break already? Saudi Arabia considers accepting yuan instead of dollars. Yeah, that's happening. Look at what the world is doing. They're just turning away from us. They're just turning away. Oh, Saudi Arabia considers accepting the yuan instead of US dollars. Oh, like we're good to go. We're good to crash right now. Like they're just going and just, structurally just selling us out. Whatever. Woman stabs a guy in the neck for Salam Kolasami. Salam Kolamamas. Kudos pop in popularity. Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. Thanks. Model who called Putin psychopath found dead in suitcase. Oh shit. She's dead by the Russian government. The Russians got her, guys. Is that her on Instagram or whatever? The fucking Russians got her? Russian model. Oh shit. The Russians are getting taken out. Russian model who called Putin a psychopath is found dead in his suitcase after year missing. Oh shit. Her name was Greta Vedlir. She was 23. She went missing after savagely criticizing Russian President Vladimir Putin last year. Her ex-boyfriend has now confessed to the murder. Really? That's kind of weird timing. The corpse of the Russian model who was called Vladimir Putin a psychopath has been found stuffed in a suitcase 1 year after she went missing. Greta Vedlir, 23, was murdered following an anti-Putin social media rant where she questioned, can he really do anything? Despite the chilling timing of her January 2021 post and her later disappearance, the two are not thought to be linked. Vedlir's ex-boyfriend, Dmitry Korovin, has now confessed to strangling her to her death before driving her 300 miles to the Lipetsk region and abandoning the body in the boot of a car. The row which led Korovin to murder Vedlir was actually over money rather than her thoughts on the Russian regime. Getting sassafras, and she got killed. So the boyfriend wanted her dead? Look at that sassafras. Sassel. Sassel. Oh, Cecil. So, over money, and he killed her, and now he's going to jail for a long time. Stuffed her in a suitcase, is that right? She's got to pick better boyfriends. Wow, she can't do anything now. She's dead. You got to pick better boyfriends. Because this boyfriend stuffed you in a suitcase and threw you in a boot of a car. Gnarly. He subsequently asked another friend in Moscow to file the missing person case, which led to the grisly discovery. So this is her boyfriend? That's her boyfriend. That's her stuffed in a suitcase a year ago and shoved out of the thing in the snow or whatever. Shoved out in the snow. Damn, that's gnarly. Russia's investigative committee released a video where Krakovin confessed and demonstrated. Oh, this is Russian? I'm not sure if this is Russian disinformation or not. Thus, her brutal analysis of Putin is not thought to have led to her murder. She previously penned online, given the fact that Putin went through a lot of humiliation in childhood, he could not stand up for himself due to his slight physical form. It is not surprising that he left after law school and joined the KGB. Such people are timid and fearful from childhood, afraid of noise and darkness, strangers. So traits such as caution, restraint, and lack of communication are developed early in their character. Oh, this is what she's saying about Putin? The girl that got stuffed in the suitcase by her boyfriend for money. She also told followers for psychopaths it's important to constantly experience a sense of fullness and sharpness of life. Oh, your fucking boyfriend was a psychopath that stuffed you in a suitcase. And you didn't see that because you were talking about Putin. Okay? You're going out with a psychopath, dear. And you're not on this plane anymore. Because you missed it. Because you were too busy talking about Putin. You're just talking about Putin. And your fucking ex-boyfriend stuffed you in a suitcase, drove you 300 miles, dumped you a boot of the car, whatever, snow, whatever. And then he was like, hey, can you file a missing persons on her? And he's going to jail. So that ended just with a nice, neat bow. Maybe he really wants to enhance the integrity of Russia. But can he really do anything? I think you know the answer to this question yourself. So she was too busy calling Putin a psychopath to realize the psychopath in her life was her boyfriend. And over money. Killed her, stuffed her in a suitcase, and drove her 300 miles and dumped her out in the snow. Heads up!